Have you ever wondered why, even when you do everything right, you're kind, successful, maybe even attractive, love still seems to slip through your fingers? Then let me ask you this. What if everything you've believed about love is completely wrong? We've been taught that women fall for the nicest guy, or the richest guy, or the most handsome one. But here's the raw truth. Women don't fall in love with who you are, they fall in love with how you make them feel. Not your face. Not your wallet. And not even the version of yourself you try so hard to present. To a woman, love isn't a math equation or a logical process. It's a storm of emotions. A powerful moment of connection. A feeling so intense it leaves a mark. And if you don't understand that, you'll always feel like love is some mystery you just can't figure out, no matter how much you try. But in this video, we're going deep into the real psychology behind how women feel, think, and fall in love. And once you understand this, everything changes: how you talk, how you act, and how unforgettable you become in her mind. So if you're tired of chasing and never getting anywhere, if you want to be the kind of man who makes women rethink everything they thought they knew, stick around until the end, because you're about to unlock something most men never figure out. Oh, and if you're serious about taking this further, I've got something for you. It's called the Female Mind Control Handbook, and no, it's not about manipulation. It's about clarity, confidence, and becoming the kind of man women respect and crave. You can grab it for free in the link down below. Ready to see love through a whole new lens? Let's begin. Part 1: Women fall for emotion, not who you are. There's a truth most men never truly understand. Women don't fall in love with you. They fall in love with how you make them feel. You can be the smartest guy in the room. Successful. Well-dressed. Polite. But if you don't trigger a strong enough emotion when she's with you, you'll fade from her memory faster than you think. Love, for women, isn't logic. It's not a checklist of ideal traits. It's an experience, a wave of emotion that sweeps her up, even if her mind tries to resist it. Psychologists call this emotional imprinting. It explains why a woman can meet two men in the same day. One says all the right things, behaves perfectly, but leaves her bored. The other? He teases her, challenges her, makes her laugh until she can't breathe. Guess who she thinks about when she goes to bed that night? It's not the better man, it's the one who made her feel something real. Attraction doesn't come from being perfect. It comes from emotional contrast. A bit of tension. A bit of mystery. A bit of humor. And a sense of comfort. All wrapped into one unpredictable experience she can't stop thinking about. This is also why so many nice guys get left behind. Not because they're not good enough, but because they forget the one thing that matters most. How does she feel when she's with you? A woman might forget your face. She might forget the words you said. But she'll never forget the way you made her feel. Part 2: The more you chase, the more she pulls away. Let's be honest. Have you ever sent a message to a woman, and then waited for hours with no reply? That sinking anxiety, wondering, is she losing interest? Now flip the script. Have you ever talked to someone who was too available? They texted back instantly, agreed with everything you said, always said yes. Did that make you more excited, or less? Here's the truth. Women are attracted to anticipation. To uncertainty. When a man is always available, always texting first, always chasing, he kills the very thing that makes attraction feel alive. This is how the brain works. Once a woman feels like she already has you, there's nothing left to wonder about. Her brain relaxes. And when her brain relaxes, her excitement fades. That's why chasing rarely works. Because when you're always showing up, always reaching out, always ready to please, you remove the emotional tension. And without tension, there's no spark. This is exactly why high-value men don't chase, they lead. They don't try to win attention, they make women want their attention. And most importantly, they never give everything away up front. They create mystery. They make her wonder, what is he thinking? Does he really like me? Because the second she stops wondering about you, she starts forgetting you. Might forget the words you said. Part 3. Women don't want a nice guy, they want a steady man. Let's be honest. Women don't walk away because you're too nice. They walk away because you're too predictable. Too easy to bend. Too quick to fold. There's a dangerous myth that far too many men still believe. That if you're always sweet, always agreeable, always saying yes to whatever she wants, she'll love you more. Sounds logical, right? But here's the truth. Women don't crave a man who always agrees. They don't need a friendly doormat. What they truly want is a man with a spine. Ask yourself. Do you honestly respect someone who never says no? Someone who avoids conflict at all costs, even when it means betraying themselves? Of course not. And neither do women. They're drawn to inner strength, not outer muscles. To the man who can hold his ground, even when emotions run high. To the man who doesn't need constant praise or approval to know his worth. That's the man who's unforgettable. That's the man who's anchored, calm, centered, and unshakable. Call it what you want. I call it the Stoic spirit. And listen carefully to this. Women will test you. Not to play games, not to hurt you, but to see if you're real. To see if they can lean on you. To know that when life gets messy, you don't collapse with it. Because if you flinch, if you chase, if you break under pressure, attraction fades. But if you stay composed, if you hold your center, even when she pushes, she won't just feel drawn to you. She'll respect you, deeply. Part 4. Love is a game of perception, not reality. Here's a truth that will completely shift the way you see love. Women don't fall in love with you. They fall in love with the version of you they've created in their mind. When she thinks about you, she's not seeing you as you see yourself. She's falling for the story, the emotions, the hopes, the past experiences she's projecting onto you. Psychologists call this cognitive projection. It's when people unconsciously attach their own desires, feelings, and beliefs to someone else. And that means this. You could stay exactly the same, but if the context changes, her perception of you changes too. One day, you're the mysterious, confident, emotionally intriguing man. The next, if you become too predictable, too available, you're suddenly boring. And don't get this twisted. You don't need to change who you are. But you do need to shape how she experiences you. This isn't about pretending or playing games. It's about creating emotional depth, the kind that stays with her long after the moment passes. Here's how. Emotional contrast. When you offer both deep connection and just enough uncertainty, she stays emotionally engaged. Selective scarcity. If you're always available, you become invisible. But when your time feels earned, it becomes valuable. Avoid becoming background noise. The man she can't predict is the man she can't stop thinking about. Remember this. Love isn't rooted in facts. It's rooted in feeling. And if you don't guide the feeling fades. So control the frame. Shape the perception. And she won't just remember you. She'll replay you. Part 5. If she feels safe, she'll never leave. You can give her love. You can make her feel excited, desired, even obsessed. But if she doesn't feel safe with you, she'll eventually walk away. It may sound strange at first. But here's the truth. Women don't stay because of how much they love you. They stay because of how emotionally safe they feel around you. See, a woman's emotions aren't like a man's. They move like waves, rising high one moment, crashing the next. One day she's deeply connected, the next, she may seem distant and unsure. And it's not an act. It's not manipulation. It's biology. And in the middle of that emotional tide, she's looking for one thing. A man who doesn't get swept away. The kind of strength she craves isn't in your muscles. It's in your stability, your emotional consistency. The ability to stay calm, grounded, and steady, even when she's not. So here's what most men get wrong. They try to fix her emotions. They get defensive. They react emotionally, trying to regain control or reassurance. But what she actually needs is something far simpler, and far more powerful. Your calm presence. Your unshakable frame. You don't need to solve her. You don't need to match her chaos. You just need to hold steady, like a mountain standing firm in a storm. Because when a woman realizes that no matter how emotional she gets, you don't break, you don't abandon, you don't lose yourself. You become the safest place she's ever known. And when a woman feels truly safe with you, she doesn't just love you. She won't want to leave. Ever. The unshakable man. When the spark fades. When emotions quiet down and the excitement of the chase is gone. What makes a woman stay isn't your looks, your money, or even your promises. It's the deep emotional safety she feels when she's around you. What keeps her close isn't some fairy tale version of love. It's the calm, steady presence of a man who doesn't get shaken by chaos. A man who stays rooted when everything around her is spinning. A man who doesn't need approval to feel worthy. Because here's the truth. Women don't need a man who always says yes. They need a man who knows when to say no. And still stands tall, calm, and unshaken. When her emotions rise and fall. When doubt clouds her mind. She watches you. Do you stay grounded? Do you hold your center? Do you remain you, no matter what's swirling around you? If the answer is yes, she won't need words. She'll feel your strength, and she won't want to leave. The unshakable man doesn't react to pressure. He doesn't apologize for having standards. He doesn't shift who he is just to make someone else temporarily comfortable. He doesn't beg to be loved. He attracts, not with noise or games, but with quiet presence. He doesn't prove himself. Because the way he shows up is the proof. And the good news? You can become that man. Not through manipulation. Not by pretending to be something you're not. But by building your core, step by step, day by day. Learning to control your emotions. To stop reacting impulsively. To stop chasing things that require you to abandon yourself. When you become internally anchored, women feel it. Not through words, but through instinct. And at some point, you'll realize something powerful. You never had to chase love. The right love was always waiting for you to become the kind of man it couldn't walk away from. If something in this message struck a chord with you. If you've ever felt like you were trying too hard to be loved, and now you're ready to become the kind of man who never needs to beg for it. Hit like, it tells the algorithm this message matters. Subscribe to Stoic Balance, because there are many more lessons on strength, discipline, and grounded masculinity coming your way. And drop a comment below. I choose stillness. If you're ready to lead from within. And become the man no one can shake.